All right, so my autism advocate was able to get in contact with a place that's given me a grant so that I can move into low income in 2 days. So I get to meet with Dave, who I've known for years. He's related to the Jepson family, Jepson. And for years and years, I've seen him at every family gathering, every birthday, every everything. I mean, I was there for all of it. So see, every 4th of July, every celebration. When I say the Jepsons were better to me than my own family, I mean it. They really made me feel like family. I'm not family though. There's things that I'm not, I guess, entitled to because I'm not a Jepson. Like one of the rules was nobody in the shop unless there's a Jepson present. I was able to get a Mountain Dew, by the way. 75 cents. So Cindy at the Housing Authority, because the whole COVID-19 thing, we have to set up a time that is okay with Dave. She's gonna get all of it together that she can and send copies with Dave for me so that I can take that to court. Um, as far as Region 1 goes, as far as my public pretender goes, I'd like to believe that I'll get an actual attorney who will actually do their job. But at this point, I don't have any faith in that, obviously, and for obvious reasons. Um, I am gonna get him to write down if it's the same one that I was supposed to have for the court date that they dropped. The bastards. The reason that they dropped the court date in Chapel is because if they hadn't, then I'd be able to go after the hospital in Scotts Bluff, and I'd be able to go after Chapel here as well because I'd have been able to show in court what they were up to. The public pretender that I had at the time was totally on board. He told me that I should plead guilty, and I told him what had been going on and who my witnesses were. And I told him that I wanted to fight it and then I wanted to take those bastards to court and that I was defending myself. And he said that he agreed, and that's what we were going to do. They dropped the charge and stuck in public. I'll be alone in my own apartment, where I'll be able to sit down in some peace and quiet and work on this stuff. When I need to make a phone call, I'll be able to hold my bearings a bit better because I won't have to listen to all that music in the background. I won't be having severe panic attacks from listening to shows about killing and rape and murder and all of the sex drama that goes along with all that crap. I'll be able to function. Things would be a lot different. Fuck the police. Now, from what I've been told, I do have quite a significant amount, is what they said. A significant amount of back pay. Um, I'm assuming that that's from October of 2018 until present. That's it's over $10,000 in back pay. They will only prorate it 3 months at a time, which will be around $2,400. Not quite. It's like $781 or something like that. So that's per month. Um, and when I get those, that'll be in addition to the $781 per month that I get. so it'll usually come a couple of days later. This time I won't have to spend all of that money paying people to move me. I won't have to spend all that money, well, on all of the stuff that I had to spend it on. See, I was going to use that money for my back pay before to buy literally the house that I'm in. The lady wanted $7,000 for it, and the guy that I'm staying with, he was able to pick it up for 1,500. Of course, these were people who were on meth, and in between me, they ended up selling it to him. They got rid of a lot of the stuff in your house worth living in. Um, I should probably give you a tour of what's been done downstairs, though, because the guy was doing work on it. He is fixing it up, and those of you who got to see the walls, before downstairs, if you get to see them now, they're a lot nicer. Um, I mean, it's not like perfect or anything like that, but it is really a lot nicer. Um, I didn't show you guys the bathroom before, which is a good thing. But if I showed you the bathroom now, believe me, it's 100% better than it was, and it still looks like ass. It does, but it's better than it was. Hopefully, by the time this is all said and done, um, I do plan on suing the shit out of the police here in Chapel. I don't want to ruin this town. If I sued the police for what I can get out of them for what they did, um, this town would cease to function, and I don't want that. Um, there are, like I said, this town is hell. It's my version of that town full of evil souls from Ghost Rider, but there's a lot of good people here. The Martindale's fucked up, but they're not bad people. I do flip off their house every time I walk by, but they're not evil people. They just fucked up. Part of that is because one of them, well, two of them are police officers. Um, the Jepson family, they live here in town, and they're good people. And the thing is, the police that really need to be gone after are the police in Colorado. That's the main ones right there. But the police did in Wyoming, that was messed up. But this is Cindy. Hey, Cindy.
Hey, all right, I got a hold of David at 10 o'clock on Thursday. Go up to the Chapel Housing Authority.
Yes, ma'am. Is my housing, is that going to be on Hilltop?
Yes.
All right.
You're going to be in number 103.
So I'm right next door to the one I was in before.
The one you were in before was 107. You're going into 103.
Yes, ma'am. So that's right next to Janet Roberts' old place?
It is Janet Roberts' old place.
Ah, that works.
Okay.
I'm familiar with that unit. That'll definitely work. Thank you, Cindy.
All right, you're welcome, Sean. We'll be in touch. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
So, well, there's that. Janet Roberts is Jamie Curtis's grandmother. She's the one that I used to train. Janet Roberts is the lady that I worked for in high school. And after I got out of high school, myself and Chris Stegman both worked for her. but he only worked 2 days a week. And Janet was in love with Chris. She thought he was the best thing since jelly. She doesn't like him anymore, but that's neither here or there. Thing I like about Chris, now, I was mad at him for a while there. He'd done some pretty messed up things, but he came back and he apologized to me for it. I got an ability to forgive people that is beyond most y'all's understanding. Um, Matter of fact, I got 2 videos on my phone that I plan on downloading. I was recording Amy Spencer or Amy Kalina Kingery. And, well, I felt that she had talked to me decently. Um, Given the circumstances, I felt that she handled it very adult for the situation. Um, I get to move in on Thursday at 10 o'clock. So I'll have the paperwork from her that shows that I had housing. I've got some of the paperwork about my disabilities. I mean, there's really a lot here. It's a lot to go through, and I'll have a mailbox finally. So with that mailbox, I'll be able to receive mail. Um, I'll be able to order a lot of the transcripts that I needed. With my income, since I have a mailbox, instead of having to waste it moving from place to place to place, hoping that the next place I go, they won't be addicted to shows about killing or be meth salesmen or uh, drug addicts or be stuck in public or be stuck at Starbucks because it's the only place with internet. I mean, it's a good start. Um, I won't have to move my computer upstairs and downstairs and upstairs and downstairs. It hurts. It really does. Although it doesn't hurt as much as it did um, back when I was in the jails. I was in a severe amount of pain. I mean, that was a lot of pain. I am in a lot better shape physically than that. Coming up and down the stairs doesn't take 10 minutes, and I'm able to carry my computer when I go up and down the stairs, which I definitely wouldn't have been able to do before. If you guys see when I go up and down the stairs, it is pretty close to my body, but that's just because if I hold it out too far, it hurts me a lot. Um, I plan on suing the shit out of these people, not the Chapel Police. If they make me, then I will. Um, but the fact is, I'm gonna fight till my last breath to get an honest court date. That means that if I get railroaded in this one, I'm still gonna fight. I'm still gonna do everything in my power to show their wrongdoing. This stuff shouldn't be allowed to happen to anyone, let alone people who have disabilities and sensory processing issues. Now I'm going to tell you how many police in this town have assaulted me. One. And it's not any of the current officers. It's not even Officer Cody Selhorst or Officer Jordan Anderson. It was a former sheriff here named Jeff Ortiz. We called him Taco. He decided he was going to slam me on the floor and scream in my face while I was in handcuffs. I was sitting in a chair in his office when he did that to me. Is that a big major issue or a big major deal? No, it's not. Matter of fact, I'd really like to get Taco on the stand. Um, taco stand. I'm sorry. I know that shouldn't be funny, but it hit me and it was just. But he's also. I think his wife is a good woman. I can say that honestly. Um, there's a lot of situations that I have to deal with as far as people being friends with the cops, like Polly Olson, getting her to speak out about the situations. Um, when she was in Denver in 2017 or in 2016, and she gave me a Krispy Kreme donut while I was flying a sign. And I have always been against flying a sign. Miss Peaches was worried about Christmas, worried about not having food, worried about a lot of different stuff. And she had Joshua A. Bear staying there at the time. You know, a really rough situation. And I held a sign out there, and we were able to make sure that Miss Peaches and her kids and her husband got to eat. Myself and A Bear both went out there and flew a sign. I'd like to be able to go to Colorado without being assaulted, and if I am assaulted, I'd like to be able to go to the police. At this point, there isn't many other options. But also, the first thing I need to do is make sure that, well, first I got to make sure that Waylon Lolatai is off the force. Also, Officer Her and Officer Lolatai need to be removed from the Border Police Department. But the police went out and said their piece on my very YouTube here, and that totally rocks. See, the thing is, I get overwhelmed. If you tell me about your problems, I feel them. That's what Mandy Hughes is not understanding. That's what her mother was not understanding, and Shannon Alvarado is not understanding. When you tell me those issues, it's not going to take me train. It's not going to take me 7 months to do something. When Mario was missing, that was Shannon Alvarado's friend. You know how long it took me? That's literally the train that Jamie's son, my my favorite memory ever, is of him getting up, needing help getting on the couch so he could see the train. Choo choo, choo choo. That very train on that very track. Matter of fact, that trailer house is only about 2 blocks over. There's a lot of stuff that needed to be shown in court, and the fact is, because it did happen across multiple jurisdictions, and because of the safety issues that I have, um, well, the FBI does need to be involved. We're not talking about some crazy lunatic. We're talking about organized crime, and I do have a lot of information on that. I also recorded a lot of people who trusted me. The only reason they trusted me is because 4 years ago they could have. Matter of fact, 2 years ago they could have trusted me. But since Natalie's death, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't. I love you, but the truth has got to come out. And a lot of these people are mad at me for that, but the fact is, if they'd kept their word, it wouldn't have ever ended up on YouTube or Facebook. I wouldn't have had to do it this way. If they had kept their word instead of wasting my time and wasting my resources, it never would have had to happen this way. They can be as angry as they want. The Fact is, I'm pissed off with every one of them because all of the ones that I went to for help before Natalie died, they'd have actually helped. Natalie would still be alive.